This is Thoughts from the Prayer Closet. Hello, everybody. This is Mia Deneen. I am coming to you today with Thoughts from the Prayer Closet. This is just a short devotion just to encourage your heart with things that the Lord has given me during my prayer and Bible study time to encourage my heart. So I just hope that you are blessed by it. Today's lesson comes from Mark chapter 6, verses 45 through 49. Actually 45 through 51. Just to paraphrase, what happens is Jesus had just performed the famous miracle of the fishes and the loaves. And the people were so, overcome with emotion that Jesus decided that he wanted the disciples to go to the other side in a boat. And he was going to stay back and he was going to go to a secret place to pray. So while he was doing that, he saw that the disciples had gotten in the middle of the lake and that the wind was against them and they were straining at the oars. They were trying to get across, but they couldn't. So about the fourth watch of the night, Jesus comes walking on the water and he comes out to them, but he's about to pass by them until they start to cry out because they thought he was a ghost. And he says these wonderful words, "Take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid." And then he gets into the boat with them and the wind dies down. And it says they were completely amazed, for they had not understood about the loaves. Their hearts were hardened. And then the next verse begins with when they had crossed over, and goes on. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. I used to love this song in high school called "Moni in the Middle." Where's she at? In the middle. And it was just reminded me, this scripture kind of made me sing that song a little bit today because God was kind of dealing with me about feeling in the middle, like you're straining at the oars. This is very dear to my heart. One, because I'm 37. So I guess, I'm in the middle of life. If you say, 70 years is, what an average age that, people are blessed with. And I'm 37, so I'm kind of right there at the middle of life. I've experienced some things, but I still have a lot to go. Another thing would be my children. My children are age 4, almost 10, and almost 13. So again, we've experienced some things, but we still have a ways to go. I mean, they're not babies, but I am right in the middle of teaching them how to live, teaching them what is right, instilling in them values that I pray they will be able to take with them and use effectively. And then, my marriage, I've been married 14 years. We've come some ways and we have a ways to go. So it's longer than newlywed, but we still have some things that we're gonna have to figure out if we're gonna get to the end. So we're in the middle, and a lot of times I feel, like all of life is sitting in the middle, straining, and the wind is against you. Everything is against you. You can just feel things blowing at your back when you're trying to move forward. Everything is against you when you're trying to move forward and you're just stuck in the middle. And so but when I read this scripture, I noticed that the verse says, at verse 45, it says, he saw the disciples straining at the oars because the wind was against them. So he saw them. He was aware of what was going on in their situation. But I also see here that the disciples, these were the disciples, the martyrs for Jesus, they they never cried out until the fourth watch, when they thought they had seen a ghost. They were so terrified that they cried out. And when they cried out, Jesus came and told them, "Take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid." And then he got into the boat with them. The wind died down and they crossed over. So I just want to encourage you today to not use prayer as a last resort. Stop doing it yourself. I think that's another, issue of being in this middle, is that we kind of think we got some things figured out. So we kind of think we're kind of smart, we're kind of resourceful. We get kind of stuck in that prideful way of thinking, I can do this. I can get to the cross this river or this lake or this storm by myself. But please don't use prayer as a last resort. Call out to God. And then the third thing I just want to say is that it says they were amazed because they never remembered the loaves. And the loaves were just this little thing that was broken and in the hands of Jesus. And it was multiplied, and it was more than enough. So if you are feeling today like you're just not enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, you're not strong enough, I just want you to know that being small and broken and in the hands of Jesus is exactly the right position for you, because he can take what you have and he can use it so that it will be more than enough in the end. So God bless you. This is Thoughts from the Prayer Closet.